Echoes here, and today we're doing What If Deku Was a Vigilante Part 5. So now what's happening is we're in the USJ, and Izuku, Hiro, and Allison, I'm saying Allison instead of her name, because Allison's just faster to say, and I'm saying Izuku instead of Deku, because Izuku just rolls faster off the tongue. Now what happens is Izuku, he gets... Oh, 1 second. Okay, don't mind any background noise. That doesn't matter. Now, what's happening now is they are actually fighting with Eraserhead. Eraserhead doesn't have time to process whether villains or heroes. He just knows that they're not attacking him and are hurting other things. And he's just like, I can't deal with this right now. Just continue fighting. And the thing is, let's say Hiro just walkie-talkies to Izuku and Allison. If we take out the leader, then the rest shall fall too. I know we gotta keep this guy alive, but only one of us needs to stay with him. Who here's up for the job? And Allison, she says, I'll stay. I'll make sure he doesn't get hurt too bad. Also, I'll give him a small walkie-talkie to contact you guys in case he thinks it's wrong, okay? And what happens is Allison, she kind of just puts something on Azawa as the other two left, and she says, we're vigilantes, we're here to help, don't attack us. And so he doesn't have time to argue with this. By the way, don't ask how they're talking and the rest are fighting. They're good at their jobs, okay? They're the best people that don't rely on quirk skills. Except for Allison. She only uses her quirk when she really needs to, but she also trained it well. And Allison, she finds this to be a necessary occurrence since it hits a lot more targets. And Allison just says, get close to me, back to back. And Azala just does as she says, and he just says, why? And Allison just says, because it's easiest way to take out more people at one time with the quirk I have. And they go back to back, and Allison, she uses her quirk as a small little outgoing tornado that kind of just bumps everyone away from them. Like her quirk, it can be like slightly deadly. You know how things pick up in the wind? Well, imagine picking up some of the people's knives and legit just going outwards. She just adds like knives and needles onto her thing. Knives, needles, pins, whatever. And that's her main little thing. I'm moving, so 1 second. Okay, so now what's happening is Izuku and Allison, or no, not Allison. Izuku and Hiro, they both go to fight. Shigaraki. They're aiming for Shigaraki at this point. And Izuku attaches like little grappling hook thingy nearby where Shigaraki is, and he kind of just swings over there and says, nice to see you again. Why didn't you just say that you're a villain? It would have been so much more fun. And, you know, I know how speaking, like, it's kind of like fun, as in fighting's fun. But don't worry about it. It's like intimidation factors or something. 1 second. Okay, so Izuku, he just says that, and Shigaraki's just like, still can't hide. And they just start fighting. And Izuku, he notices the entire disintegration quirk right off the bat. And he radios this in to Isaac, and, you know, because they've learned the skill of fighting and talking to the maximum. They also notice that Eraserhead doesn't have amazing of a quirk. Thus, they kind of radio in to Eraserhead, and they say, Eraserhead, you're an underground hero that specializes in physical fighting. Or Izuku does this, as Hiro holds them off for a bit. And he says, I want you to stare at their leader. Their leader has a bunch of hands all over him. I need you to disable his quirk. It's a mandatory thing I need you to do. That way, he doesn't seem to rely on much else but his quirk to get things done. By doing this, you're making us at the advantage. As you do that, the child hero will get your back and help you. Understood? And Eraserhead gets a minute to breathe and says, understood. Or he just says, fine. And he turns and he looks at Shigaraki, eyes wide, staring at him, everything. Well, Allison, she's like one-handing all these villains. Not the most amazing job, but she's adjusting to their quirks, keeping them a good distance away from her. And you know how like Neji has his weird rotation thingy? Imagine that, but just with winds, is what she also does. You know, I'm making... This might sound OP, but what else are you going to do with 3 years of your life? Not a lot of studying and a bunch of training. I don't see anybody else in the anime training. If they actually did train, they might be able to get this strong before they get to UA. Just saying. Don't... If any haters are coming at me about this, just saying... They should have trained a bit. It's only opinion. It's a good anime and everything, but they could have trained before UA. Whatever. Continuing onwards, what happens is Izuku and Hiro actually double team Shigaraki and forces Shigaraki to bring out the Nomu a lot earlier than expected. And when the Nomu gets there, Nomu is the Nomu. And Nomu actually has it target Hiro. To which Izuku, knowing that the Nomu is bigger and most likely stronger, well, along with Hiro, are both kind of just trying to dodge the best of their abilities. To which since it's targeting Hiro, Izuku just says in the walkie-talkie, nobody else can hear but the people with the walkie-talkies, whatever you do, I need you, Hiro, to distract this. It's called a Nomu. Distract it to the best of your abilities while I take out the leader. That way, they're going to have to call him back in if they don't want to lose one of their assets. And Hiro, he doesn't have time to talk. And Izuku just knows this and says, I'm sure you know this, okay? Try and bring it out of this place, to a place with more heroes. It should be best. And Hiro does this. He has the Nomu chase him out of the area. By the way, he was mainly using things to swing on, like a ninja, and like grabbing hooks and whatever. Because that way it's easy. And that entire tree thingy that they do in Naruto? He's doing something like that, but with grappling hook. Don't ask why I'm making grappling hook do so much. It's just I needed some way to buff up these people. They're only quirkless. Come on. And Hiro, he knew that he wouldn't be able to do much before. So he decides to do something since he figures out the gnome is dumb. And since he's in the forest, he uses that tree branch above him, because he found a slightly taller tree, goes above him, goes like up above the Nomu. The Nomu is still running forward, because he just saw this. Don't ask how he's not getting pummeled by the Nomu immediately. Don't ask. I can't have Hiro dying. That would be too much. Also, then they wouldn't have money, and the plot line falls apart. All the logicalness. And then what happens? Sorry, had to sneeze. Then what happens is Hiro, legit just stabs the Nomu in the brain. Don't know why they didn't do this in the anime, but they stab the Nomu in the literal brain. And the Nomu dies. I mean, seriously, got stabbed in the brain. How else am I gonna kill this thing? And, you know, dead. Actually, I'm just gonna say that, but at this point, they got a gun. Heroes are allowed to use guns. They're allowed to use guns. And what happens is, he grabs his gun and literally shoots and stabs the brain at the same time. Because 2 hands, 2 abilities. And he stabs the brain with like multiple knives in 1 hand. Because what else were you gonna do? Not stab it with 3 knives? And I know that has regeneration abilities. But they notice that. And they know that this is just slight plot armor. Since how are you supposed to kill a person inside of My Hero Academia if they have regeneration? You can't. Thus, plot armor, this works. It's dead, kind of. It's really just knocked out in a way. Due to the fact that I got stabbed in the brain. So, yeah. Whatever. Doesn't matter. And next thing that happens, they leave. The hero, he's trying to go back. And the thing is, Deku, he's been fighting Shigaraki all this time. And Allison, she's getting tired. Using her quirk takes up her energy. In a way. And she just says, I'm running low. I need to rest. And she's like breathing heavy while doing this. Barely able to talk. And Izuku just radios in. Only a little longer. You can pull through this. Child hero. You got to do this. Well, I guess you don't got to. Like mumbles that part, and then they hear like a little disintegrating sound, and Allison just says, Deku! She really was concerned, and actually she doesn't say, Deku, she says, Izuku! And as our notes in his mind, his name's Izuku. And Izuku just radios in, I'm still alive. Just got my arm a bit. Don't worry about it. He doesn't like pain. The only problem is he's good at dodging, kind of. And immediately what Izuku decides to do is he decides to get out one thing. He just radios into Allison. Allison, or not to Allison, to Hiro. Hiro, remember the bag we left outside with our extra supplies? Get one of our guns out. We're gonna need it. And Hiro just kind of goes, which one? Izuku says, sniper. And what happens is, Hiro literally snipes Shigaraki, loads him up, aims for the kill, kind of doesn't really get him a lot, but then Kagiri gets in the way and everything, followed by the moment teleported out, due to the fact that, we don't want nobody dying. Getting nobody important dying. Anyway, so what happens is, they all got to leave. And Izuku just radios in. Put her away, grab the bag, go home. I'll grab Allison. Oh, not, he doesn't say Allison. He says, I'll grab a child hero. And as he goes by, he removes Aizawa's walkie-talkie and says to him, thanks for the help. And he grabs Allison. And they all leave. And the heroes kind of wanted to try to pursue him, but they really couldn't. Too many other villains to take down. And they find dead bodies and everything, and Hiro just says, no moo in the woods. to them. So, yeah. Adios.